Hello YouTube, Logan here. In today's video, we're gonna be looking at this computer and getting it running and fixed. I'm actually editing right now, and I realized I didn't film a proper intro. So I paid $40 for both these computers from my local church, and we're gonna be working on this one today. Sneak peek, that's what it looks like now. And then we have this random Dell, so stay tuned. Alright, this is the second computer that needs cleaned. Alright guys, so here's the state of this computer. Now that we know the Dell works, it's time to mess with this one. And I just got it working. Before, the RAM that was in it, the Corsair RAM, both of those sticks were donezo. These are the sticks from the Dell, and wouldn't you know, with working RAM, it booted right up. Pulled the front cover off. Look, it's got like integrated dust covers. That's cool. These ones need a little bit of help. Dirt. Wow. Unfortunately, this fan's gonna be pushing against all this, yeah, it's getting, that's not great for airflow. Then, what can go in? Mr. Hard Drive. Before we do that, there you are. There's the speculations. Boom. Nice. What's your opinion on this power supply? Should it be facing up? My thought is the front of the case has dust filters the whole way in the front where all the intake is. There is no dust filter down there. So, and because the computer only has one intake and one exhaust, I'm thinking, well, would it help to have this act as like an exhaust? And it gets all the filtered air. So I think this is the way I'm gonna put it in. Feel free to blow me up in the comments or something about doing this wrong. But I just feel like there isn't a lot of room here. There's like, that's the bottom. That's how much air you're getting. And this is on a hardwood floor. So you just be sucking like against the carpet the whole time. So I'm thinking that this is gonna be the best, considering the case. Now, normally I would mount it down if there's enough clearance, but this one doesn't have very much clearance on the feet, and there's no dust filter, so that's my train of thought. Let me know what you think. Anyway, I bought RAM, and I bought a GPU for this. Let me show you real quick. Here we are. So, I got some 16 gigabytes of DDR3 for $1577, and then 1660 Ti, $90. And then while we're here, this is for the Dell. And then I'm currently 3D printing a mount to hold the CPU fan on to the Hyper 212 cooler. So let's do before and after, before I cable manage. So obviously there's all of this, and it looks like this on the back. So, alright, there's your before. Now let's see the after. It's time for the grand reveal. Ooh, that's tough. Alright, so this one is GP power and nowhere to plug in, so that's just sitting there. You can see all the wires for the front I/O panel right to the back, CD drive to the back, stuff right to the back. And same thing here. All those wires go to the same spot, which is where all the power supply wires go in. And around the back is not nearly as pretty as the front. However, you don't see the back, so check it out. I painted the Wi-Fi card black. Or the middle bracket. I'd say it looks pretty good. Ta-da! Alright, so I decided that I wanted to use an SSD in this computer as the boot drive. Alrighty guys, I have my bracket printed. Unfortunately, you can see the printer stopped right here. So, I don't think I showed you guys the original design, but it would have went all the way up to the top here pretty much, and had this the whole way up. Then it would have had a mounting rail at the top here for that fan as well. And quite frankly, I don't want to try and reprint this. Check it out. We have, for the first time on this computer, a CPU cooler, or, well, CPU cooler cooling device. It is a little wobbly. It could probably use a little bit of adjustment. But I mean, it seems, if it's like noticeable in the game, I'll definitely modify this to make it kind of work. But I mean, for now, it's on there at least. And then that's just kind of sitting there for a second. But yep, you can see straight to that fan, straight to that fan, and straight through that fan. So. My plan worked. Alrighty guys, here is our 1660 Ti, and it's, while I'm recording this, it looks amazing on camera, but it really isn't. Which is why I bought this, because it looked amazing on camera, but it really isn't. Dust in there. It's really dusty just kind of everywhere. And it's covered in smoker's tar. So, I'll have to tear the whole thing down now. I didn't want another project, but we have another project. I guess on the plus side, it gives me some experience with GPUs. This will be my first time tearing down a GPU, but I'm good with tearing stuff down and putting it back together the same way. So, I did just verify it works in there. Dude, this sticker's like rock hard. There we go. Warranty void, I see. Alright, so the thermal pads look like they're in very good shape. So we'll be reusing those. It's interesting that these don't get any thermal pads. Not strange? All these guys do. No thermal pad for you. This CPU, I'm sorry. This thermal paste here is like, it's very dry. This thing may have been running hot for a while. Alright. You can see we got the heatsink off. Needs a little bit of a clean. And then I'm just pulling the fans out. Alrighty guys, time to blow. Alright, we are done the cleaning process. Wipe this down twice with 91% isopropyl alcohol. I wipe these down so many stupid times, it's just ridiculous. They still smell a little bit. Hopefully it's okay. That's what I'm trying to say. The radiator, heatsink radiator, it's kind of radiator. It is very clean now. I did polish the pipes a little bit. Just, it looks a little better. Looks a little more better maintained. I did not polish that, so don't get me in the comments. That's just what it looks like. Then it doesn't smell like at all. It's maybe it has like a hint, but it's cleaned up extremely well. I'm very happy with that. The bracket actually has surface rust in the back. I don't know. Maybe I'll fix that. Maybe I won't. Depends on how I feel. And then this, as you can see, is in very good condition. I didn't repaint anything. This is all original paint. The black spots that were on here were actually from like the smoke dust and whatever. As it was like shoving it in here, it was getting like stuck on the corners and crevices and stuff. So it looks really good now. Everything is nice and shiny. It should work. Alrighty guys, we are on the last steps before installing the cooler. We need thermal paste. So I'm using this MX4 by Arctic. It's the best stuff I have. I've got a couple different thermal paste packets in there, but I want whoever has this card to not have to worry about core temperatures and be able to maybe overclock it a little bit. I don't know if you can overclock this card, but I mean, if you want to, then go right ahead. I'm not going to film this. I need to concentrate. I got a little trigger happy. That's definitely going to be too much. Oh well. Check it out. It's like brand new. Boom. That's about a day's worth of work. Not worth it, but oh well. I thought it looked better in the pictures, so I guess that's my fault. But right into the machine it goes. Alright guys, as you can see, paste applied. However, I was having issues with my reset button. It's like it was missing a spacer or something. Because it was always in there like this. And you had to shove it in there like that far to actually press the button. And then it would never sit flat. So, I made a little itty bitty spacer that I rolled up electrical tape. And I taped that to the switch. Then hopefully that just kind of fixes my issue. Alright, I had to reduce my roll quite a bit, but now that is very, very nice. I'd honestly say it's better than factory. However, this button absolutely sucks, and it's the one that you need to press, so. Now it's time to remove all of the stuff like this. Let me get rid of all of that. I think there's a drip down there. Yep. Okay, so I'll get rid of all of that. Make it presentable. Alright, so I need to make sure this DVD drive works before I sell it. So we're gonna be putting in the greatest movie to ever exist. Please don't destroy my movie. Oh, it's thinking. Oh, popped up. Alright, the RAM came in. Look, we even got the original box. And sticker. As you can see, 16 gigabytes, 8 gigs each, and 1866 megahertz. It's a pretty cool box. The RAM is kind of just basic, but has the little cooler on top. Not much, but install. Alright, to begin the benchmarking, we have my favorite game of all time, BeamNG.drive. This is the Jungle Rock Island map with the high settings preset. And we are gaining a pretty good amount of FPS, around 70 and 80, depending on which way the camera looks and where you're on the map and stuff like that. But that is extremely good. You won't be able to tell how smooth it is, but it is a very smooth experience. It looks very, very good. I probably could have tried the Ultra preset, but I just ended up not doing that. I thought high was just good enough, because I heard that Ultra is very, it's not optimized very well, so I just decided to keep it on high. And now we are on to the West Coast USA map with the Gabriel D series of running a red light. This is actually the AI driving, so any errors you see are not made by me. You can see here we're kind of getting like a, like 30, 37, like mid to high 30s, low 40s. This is 7 traffic cars spawned. You can see they're doing traffic things. And there are 5 parked cars apparently. However, I haven't seen any of those. The vehicle pulling is on, which takes up a lot of extra RAM, but the game runs super smooth. It's very nice. This isn't as nice as the Jungle Rock Island experience was, but this is kind of a good test for like multiplayer gaming, for like BeamNG. See the tunnel, the frame rate has been up to about 45 now, which is good, but we obviously know why, where all the textures and stuff's going on at, so. Very good. It's more than playable. You definitely don't need to have 7 cars spawned for like traffic stuff. Now we're on to Lethal Company. Once again, with this game, it failed to pick my mic.
Oh, I thought it was dangerous as it was.
So there's no mic for me on this, which just kind of sucks.
Which one is this?
As you can see, we're getting about 100 FPS indoors, which is to be expected, honestly. I mean, like,
The fun fact, I don't know where that is.
Game.
Yeah.
You can see I have a close call here. There you go. Thank you for laughing, Xavier. That's, for some reason, the FPS tanked there for a second, but yeah, I mean, it's fairly stable. I'd say around maybe 90, 100, what you can expect. Obviously, it's not using all the resources it has. That's one thing I will point out.
Might be a rival. Keep an eye out. We might have to kill a company, a non-company member.
You could say it's using like 50% here of both. Then a quick outdoorsy test, and once again, it's about the same frame rate, just more stable and a little bit higher. Same usage. It's just a Unity game. It's not the best optimized, but it runs fine on higher end hardware like this. And by higher end, I mean like not a 2018 business laptop. And then you'll see as we enter the ship that the frame rate goes bye-bye. So 964, 55. I'm not sure. That could be the objects that are stacked there, or it could be the bees. We do not know. Or it's more than likely the objects. So, obviously, if you cap your FPS at like 60 or something,
Alright.
it shouldn't be an issue at all. render distance of 10. With this game, the only issue I've noticed was every time a chunk loads in, it kind of lags a little bit. So I'd say you get a pretty nice like 350 FPS if you capped it there, but I will 100% remind you that this is vanilla. Oh, here we go. Yeah, see, there you go. There's the settings. You know, if you installed a mod like Sodium or something, I'm sure the FPS would be so much better, and it wouldn't be as stuttery. But this is just vanilla. This is not chocolate. This is just vanilla. So you can see FPS 270 something. You know, 300, somewhere around there. There's a stutter there. That's a pretty big one. But alrighty, guys. Thank you so much for watching until the end of the video. As you can see, this computer is ready to rock, and it's ready to find a new home. So if you were willing to buy this computer, I have it listed on eBay for $525 currently, open to offers. Wink, wink. Please go check out the link that's in the description. Do you see it's below, guys? Do you see it's below? It's below. There's a link in the description below. And it's looking for a new home, and I'm looking for money. So thank you guys so much for watching, and subscribe.